I have been involved in more than 2 decades to different political process, from Bonn Conference up to peace process, up to Doha, and in every process. But unfortunately, what I'm seeing is all these repeat that they used Afghan women as a token, as a window dressing, as a kind of like superficial way that not meaningful. We were not meaningful involved, and then you can see the result today. But also one thing about the human rights atrocity that you mentioned, it's also important for the USG for this through this mechanism, not only to focus on the documentation and monitoring mechanism in Afghanistan, but there should be a system and mechanism to address all these issues. Monitoring is very much important, documentation is important, but those issues should be tackled or addressed in an effective way.
What would be the additional mechanism that you would want? Given the context, I want us to bear in mind the context in which the Taliban are the reality, unfortunately, on the ground. They're not listening very much to the international community. We have Special Representative West, myself, members of the international community. I think the one issue that everyone has taken up in particular is women's rights to education. And certainly the issue of religious and ethnic minority communities is something that we constantly raise. There hasn't been much movement on their end. So in terms of, this is a question that I want to pose to you because I engage, and Tom West also engages Special Rapporteur Richard Bennett. We're constantly trying to think of how we can do better and pushing more effectively to prevent further violations.
Mm-hmm. I think people are, as you say, saying that Taliban are the realities of the country. But Taliban are the reality, but not the only one reality. The reality of Afghanistan is the youth of Afghanistan, the women of Afghanistan, the civil society of Afghanistan, those that they are at the front line, that they are fighting towards terrorism. They are the realities of Afghanistan, not only Taliban. Everybody should be equal treated in all processes. And women also. We women, we Afghan women, we are at the front line. I mean, we are at the war with Taliban. We Afghan women and girls, we are erased from the society, politically and socially and economically. We lost our job. There is no school. There is no means of living. So we are the reality of the country. Thank you.
Thank you very much.